What's up, everybody? Tommy Bauer here, the CEO and founder of the Headline Music mobile app. Today is the sixth episode of the Friday feature. We're going to be interviewing Lizzie Cates. She's a country singer living in Nashville, Tennessee, originally from Reno, Nevada. I've been listening to her for a little bit. She was actually one of the first people to put their music on our app before we even launched the app. So I'm excited to actually talk to her for the first time in person. So without further ado, Lizzie Cates. So I'm here with Lizzie Cates. Did I say that right?
You sure did.
All right. Coming originally from Reno, Nevada, but recently moved to Nashville. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, I want to say thanks again for taking the time. I appreciate it, and we're looking forward to hearing a little bit about your story. So we're going to get right down to it.
Sounds good. I'm very excited to be here.
All right. So the first question I have for you is just you call yourself a honest country singer. I want you to tell me what exactly does that mean because I wasn't sure. I didn't know if there was any dishonest people.
Oh, okay. So when mean by honest, it's more like just like in my songwriting, I am very transparent in my songwriting.
Okay.
As you have heard in a lot of my songs that I put out, especially for my EP, Such a Mess, I write about really personal things. And like, I feel like with country music, especially now, I feel like people are just writing songs to get hits on the radio and are writing songs about, things that they don't really do. They just want to like have fun and stuff like that, which is awesome. But for me personally, like songwriting has always just been a way to express myself and help me get through things. And so when I consider myself an honest country singer, I consider myself somebody who writes about my feelings because I have a lot of them. But and so I try to be really transparent and I try to be as honest as possible. So that's what I mean by like an honest country singer. Is like I literally only write things that I feel. So
Right. So you're writing it with a purpose as opposed to somebody else who's just writing it for some sort of maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I think everybody writes with a purpose, but like for me personally, I write more towards to help people get through things and like make people feel less alone. So
I got you.
I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes feeling alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you're from Reno originally. Did you have anybody that inspired you in Reno when you first started out that caused you to get into the country scene as opposed to some of the other music genres that you could have coming from that area?
Um, well, there's actually not that many country artists in Reno. So growing up, I was honestly like what brought country music to me was my mom and my grandma. They were always so obsessed with it. Like my mom, ever since I was a baby, like I literally wouldn't fall asleep until she sang me "Somewhere Other Than the Night" by Garth Brooks. So like ever since I was a baby, I had country music just embedded in my brain. And so same with my grandma. My grandma was obsessed, and she always told me about Nashville and like do like all these things, and she always told me to go there. And so I would say that my mom and my grandma were definitely my biggest inspirations when it came to that for people in Reno. And then like music inspirations, like just in general, like music, obviously the Dixie Chicks. I grew up being obsessed with them. Like when I was 5, my lifelong dream was to become one of the Dixie Chicks. So definitely the Dixie Chicks, Shania Twain, obviously. And then my obvious biggest one is Taylor Swift. Everybody
Right.
knows this about me. So yeah.
Yeah, because we did mention that when I talked to you earlier, I had said that some of your songs do sound like a Taylor Swift influenced type of song,
Yeah.
especially with like just the
Mhm.
poppy side of the country in there,
Yeah.
with the chorus especially,
Hmm.
which is good.
Yeah. Choruses are really important to me. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, because speaking of your songs in particular, then that one that I had mentioned was "Don't Stop Making Plans," and so I just want to hear from you. What exactly does that song mean? Where did that come from?
So this song means a lot to me because so when I first moved to Nashville, I moved in with a group of people, and there happened to be this guy that lived in the room right next to mine.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
And we instantly became best friends, and everybody's just like, "You're in love with each other," and I'm like, "Ew, he's like my roommate. Like we're roommates." And like people are like, "You don't act that way when you're roommates." But anyway, So there's a line in the very first line is in the middle of the night in an all night diner, singing out like two headliners. So during CMA Fest when I first moved here, my roommate was playing downtown and he got a little drunk, and so I came down there to pick him up, and he's like, "Oh, let's go to the diner downtown," and it's like two o'clock in the morning, and we're sitting there, and Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol came on, and we started singing the song at the top of our lungs, and he's on his knees, and we're like totally, and everybody's like looking at us like, what are they doing? So
in
that's
the
like
diner?
a line at first. Yes, in the diner at 2 in the morning. It was so great. So a couple days later, I was in a write with the guys that I wrote that with, DeLorean and Josh. We were sitting there, and me and Josh like to write depressing music. Like we love writing sad songs, and DeLorean's like this beautiful, like really energetic gay guy, and so he's just like, we're not gonna write a sad song today. We're gonna write something fun. And he's like, Lizzie, tell me something awesome that's going on in your life. And I'm like, I think I have a thing for my roommate, and it was the first time I ever admitted to anybody, including myself. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, because we keep making these ridiculous plans, and I don't ever want them to stop. And then I told them about the whole diner thing, and so we came up, I started singing the line, and like Josh was like doing that snapping, like he had like a snap beat, and then we started writing it, and then so we wrote it, and then funny story, every single time I would come home, my roommate would be like, play me the song you wrote today, and I was just like, oh no, here we go. And I sang the first line, and he started laughing because he knew immediately it was about him.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then and so I started doing like all the things, and it's funny because he's a pedal steel banjo player, and he like kind of like hates pop music, and so he's just like, oh my god, don't do that. And then but anyway, after I played it, I'm like, well, I guess the secret's out. And
right.
Yeah, so that's where the inspiration for that song. So obviously that song started because we're still together. We've been together for almost 3 years, so it's, I guess, the song. So that song means a lot to me for that reason.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you better hope it stays that way. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So that means that you've been in Nashville then, what, just over 3 years then?
It'll be 3 years on April 4th.
Okay, because you're 24, right?
Yeah, I'll be 25 this month though, which is like crazy.
Yep, it's going fast.
I know. What the heck? I still feel like I'm 22 because I was 22 when I first moved here. This is crazy.
Hey, you know what though? You're pretty accomplished for 24 years old though. If you think about it, there's a lot of things that you've done, whether it's just music or moving around or seeing different places, playing live. Which brings me to my next question, which is in regards to playing live. Is there what kind of explain the feeling a little bit that you get when you're playing live versus just singing? In the studio or something like that, do you get those butterflies on a regular basis?
I think it depends on the show. So like what I normally play in Nashville are the writers' rounds where everybody sits on a stage and plays their songs that they wrote. For like those, I get excited because I just am so infatuated in love with songwriting. And so for me, like being able to tell the story behind the song and people actually wanting to listen to that, I get really excited. So I don't really get nervous for those. But like other shows, like for example, on the 20th of this month, I'll be playing the Bluebird. And playing the Bluebird is like such a pinnacle thing for me. Like I got to make my debut last year on the day that I released Such a Mess. And that was really nerve-wracking. I was very nervous going into it because one, I was sick. So I was just like, I'm going to mess this up. And two, it's everybody's been on that stage, like anybody's anybody. And so that one I got really nervous. After the first song, I felt way better because the funny thing about playing, like, let's just say like somewhere like a bar or something, like everybody's so like talking, but as like the Bluebird, like everybody's dead quiet and staring at you. And you're just like, wow, I really have to make sure that they like this. So that's nerve-wracking. Full band stuff, which I haven't really gotten to do a lot in Nashville. I love that. Like that is what I live for because I absolutely love dancing like a maniac because that's what I do. And I love putting on a show, and I love just being silly and like, having like a band to back you up on it. Like I always have the guitar, but if you get rid of the guitar, it's just like it's fun.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the show. I think the most things that I get nervous for are shows where you know the people are going to be really, really watching you,
Uh-huh.
and you're by yourself. Like I think those are the ones I get nervous for. But
So,
fan shows, so much fun.
so last year when you played that show, then how many people were you playing in front of? Is that indoor
So,
show or is that outdoor?
so the Bluebird Cafe is like a really small place. So it's
Okay.
actually the place where Taylor Swift got discovered, and same with Faith Hill.
Okay.
It's a songwriter. It's the songwriting like place. It's like this tiny little like cafe. I think it holds like 70 people, but it's so intimate, and it's sold. Like my tickets sold out within seconds. Like nobody I knew even got tickets because people are constantly wanting to get in there and buy tickets.
Wow.
So that's the cool thing about it is it's constant. You know it's going to be sold out regardless of and
Mm-hmm.
the people actually are there like wanting to listen, which is really awesome.
Yeah, right. Wow. Yeah, because I've been to Nashville a few times on Broadway. Is it on Broadway or no?
No, it's not. It's in a place called Green Hills.
Okay. Yeah, so because I've
Yeah,
been down there a couple times, and even the bar scene down there, when you go down there, like you said, it's always packed, and it's just like
it is packed.
there's
Yeah.
you're shoulder to shoulder, but like you said, not everybody's always paying attention to the music in the way that
Yeah.
that you might want them to as an artist.
Yeah.
To really
Yeah,
kind
so yeah.
you know.
That's unfortunately that's the bar scene in Nashville. But you learn to deal with it. And you have to know how to react to a crowd. You can't
Right.
like get angry if they're not listening. It's like okay, these people didn't come to see you. Like
Yeah.
oh no. Yeah.
Are you gonna be a Nashville local for a while? Do you think or no?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'll stay. Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to also add that we're wrapping up the interview now, and the final question I want to ask you is just: is there anything for 2020 that you want us to let your fans and followers know? Anything that's coming out song-wise, or if you're going to be performing even to your Nashville audience? Are you going to be anywhere in the near future?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm playing the Bluebird on February 20th. I'm playing Bus Call, which is a thing on Tin Roof. It's like it's kind of like, have you ever heard of Whiskey Jam? It's kind of like the new Whiskey Jam.
Okay.
So that'll be a full band show, which is awesome. You can check out all these dates on my website as well. But I'll also be I'm going to be playing a full band showcase through Radio Sobro during CMA Fest. I don't have the dates for that yet, but they will be on my website, which is just LizzieCatesMusic.com.
Okay.
And then for new music, I'm working on a new album. I already have four songs selected for it, and I already have the title. So I'm very excited about it. I don't have dates on release dates, but I can already tell you that I already have the first single and I already have the music video for it. So
So you're
very
pumped.
excited.
Yeah. Is it and that was Taylor Swift inspired or no?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all my stuff is going to be Taylor Swift inspired, but yeah, I'm
Good.
very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I like what you've put on our app so far, and I like some of the other songs that you haven't put on there, which I don't know why, but maybe one day you'll put them all on there.
I'll go put them all. As soon as we get off here, I'll go put them all in there.
Well, I just want to say thanks again for taking the time to take this interview with us, and I hope you have a great Sunday. We're looking forward to seeing you in the future and just what good things you bring to the country music scene. So,
Well, thank you. I had a blast. Thank you for reaching out and wanting to interview me.
no problem. You have a good day, okay?
You as well.
All right, thanks a lot.